Hi guys, Kaiser here. Welcome back to Age of Empires 3. The free-to-play version of the game has only been out for a few days now, but so far it's shaping up to be a pretty massive success. We've got a lot of new players coming in and experiencing the game, trying it out, and hopefully sticking around. And what that means is we have a lot of new players interested in learning the mechanics and the strategies of the game. Now, AoE3 can be a pretty complex game to learn. There are already a bunch of videos out there that can help new players gain a grasp of the mechanics of the game, and I really recommend them. For example, I put out a video a little over a year ago, particularly for Age of Empires 2 players who are interested in wrapping their heads around the unique way that AoE3 wages war. And that's a video I'd still recommend, so I'll leave a link to that in the description below. But in today's video, I want to showcase two tools that I've developed that I think make the game much simpler to learn and much easier to spectate and cast and play. So if you're interested in that, listen up. The first tool that I'm interested in bringing to you today is one I'm very proud of. It's called the Better Unit Description mod. In Age of Empires 3, whenever you mouse over a unit or a unit portrait, you get some information about that unit. Unfortunately, it's not always the most useful. For example, if I mouse over the skirmisher, it just says skirmisher, right? Or if I go over here and I click on the pistolero, I get a dangerous outlaw with a pistol. Now, if you're just learning the game, that doesn't really tell you a whole lot. You're saying, well, duh, it's a skirmisher, but what does that mean, right? Or an outlaw with a pistol. I don't know what that means from a strategic point of view. This information is not always the most useful. If only there's a way that we could update this information so that it gives us more strategic information. It gives us a better understanding of how these units should or should not work, right? Enter the Better Unit Descriptions mod, which is really cool. Let me show you what it does. It changes the descriptions of various units, strips out a lot of the fluff, and just gives you key information about the role that the unit plays and how the unit is different from other units in the same category. So for example, if I mouse over the skirmisher, instead of just telling me it's a skirmisher, now I can see at a glance this is a light infantry unit, good against heavy infantry and light cavalry. And if I click on it, and I mouse over the portrait here, I get even more information. A kind of a general profile. It's a long-ranged unit, but it doesn't have a lot of HP. It's overall better than the crossbowman, but it costs more. If I mouse over the crossbowman, I'm told that it is an archaic light infantry unit, which is important. If a unit is tagged as an archaic unit, it shows it benefits from certain technologies, right? But what if you've got unique units? Like, for example, if you're playing as the French and you have not just the Hussar, but you also have the Veteran Cuirassier, right? Well, with this mod, it shows you how it's different. And we can see in the description here that compared to the Hussar, the Cuirassier has more HP and a greater area of effect damage. Actually, it has area of effect damage and the Hussar does not by default. But the Cuirassier deals less base attack strength, it costs more, and it requires more population space. So you can get a sense, just by mousing over the two units, of the strategic profile. How do these two units, which are both heavy cavalry, when would you want to pick one over the other? And that's true for every unit in the game. Have you ever wondered how the war wagon from the Germans compares to a typical dragoon? Or how does the Haudenosaunee Tomahawk Warrior compare to the Musketeer? Maybe you didn't even realize that the Tomahawk Warrior belongs in the same category as the Musketeer. It's actually tagged as a Musketeer-like unit. So you can click over all of these units, and you get a pretty nice sense of the light infantry are good against heavy infantry and light cavalry. The heavy infantry are good against heavy cavalry and light cavalry. The heavy cav are good against light infantry and artillery. The light cavalry are good against heavy cav and artillery. And then the artillery are pretty good against heavy infantry and light infantry, as well as buildings, right? A pretty neat mod. It also updates the information of the various outlaw and mercenary units. So, for example, we have up here the pistolero. Before, it was just telling us it's an outlaw armed with a pistol. Now you can see it is a heavy infantry unit. I give a brief little blurb about what outlaws typically do, how they work. You get a comparison to the musketeer. right? So it's a really useful mod for grasping intuitively at a glance what do these different outlaw units, mercenary units do, as well as the native units. This is huge. If we go over here to the Cherokee Rifleman, the old description said this was a Native American Cherokee unit that has long range. So you might think, oh, well, this unit must shoot further than a skirmisher. But actually it doesn't. It does not shoot as far. It has less range and less ranged resistance or ranged armor, but it has significantly more HP. We can actually compare here, 288 HP versus 144.
I see.
So again, you can see right away at a glance what this unit does, you know, how is it supposed to be used, and how is it different from other light infantry. And this mod, again, it updates all of the native units, the mercs, the outlaws, the base units, just about every unit in the game. Now, this is still a work in progress. There's the occasional unit here and there that maybe should have a description that doesn't yet. And if you want, you can leave me a description in the video or a description in the mod page to let me know what you find that you'd like to see updated for the mod. But this is a really cool mod you should try out. I think I even have, for the Coureur de Bois. It's also been updated with some extra information comparing it to the generic Settler. It's a pretty cool mod. You should try it out. The second mod that I want to introduce to you today is called the Better Unique Church Card Descriptions mod. It's a little bit more niche, but I think it's a very useful mod that everybody should download and try out. Let me show you what it does. Let's say that you're looking through the home city decks of your favorite European civilization, and you mouse over the unique church card. Here we've got for the French, the Edict of Nantes. Provides your church with unique French improvements, and that's it. And you might be asking yourself, well, wait a minute, what does the Edict of Nantes actually do? What does it send me? You would have to either dig up the wiki or use your memory. You cannot figure out from here what the Edict of Nantes actually does. I found this really frustrating, and that's why I introduced the Better Unique Church Card Description mod. What the mod does is adds to the description of these various unique church cards what the different technologies are. For example, here's the Edict of Nantes for France, and we can actually see now the 4 unique technologies that this card activates. It includes the various requirements. When does this card become available? If there's a cost associated with the card, what is that cost? And then, of course, what does the technology actually do? A brief description of what the technology does. This is available for all of the European civilizations that have a unique church card, as well as the Mexicans and the Americans. And one of the cool things about this mod is that it is actually available not just in English, but also in Spanish, French, and German. So if you play the game in any of those languages, you can download this mod and really enhance your AoE3 experience in a very cool way. And finally, let me show you how to get these mods. It's really simple. All you have to do is go to the Tools page, Mods, Browse Mods, type in Better, give it a second to load, and eventually you'll see pop up right here at the top the Better Unit Descriptions mod. And you'll also see a little bit below that the Better Unique Church Card Descriptions mod. And I'll give a little shout out to another mod of mine, the Better Native Camp Dialogue mod, which is a fun aesthetic mod that just changes the different things that the native camps say to you. That's a pretty cute little mod. So if you're interested in any of those, you just come over to the subscribe button, click subscribe for each of the mods, let them download, and they should show up here on the installed mods page. If the light is blue, that means that the mod is on and it should be working for you. And guys, that's it. I hope you enjoy the mods. Give them a download, try them out. They are multiplayer compatible. You can go into ranked and play with these mods turned on. I think it'll be really useful in helping you learn the game, in helping you spectate and cast games, and to get good at Age of Empires 3. Guys, thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked the video, please give a like to the video and consider subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you all to do that. And also, hunt down the mods on the AoE3 mod page, and if you wouldn't mind, give a like to the mods themselves, because they could really use the love and attention. I appreciate that from each and every one of you. Thanks, guys, so much. For now, this is the Iron Kaiser, signing off. God bless. Have a great one out there.